The natural fallacy is the belief that natural things are automatically good, or at least better, than artificial ones. So far, I've been tearing down the natural fallacy. But let's be fair, there are cases where paying attention to natural does give us some good cues about whether this thing is good. As we saw, this natural fallacy is here for a reason. Nature has a sense of sanctity, purity, familiarity, and simplicity. And this has some value. For example, we are more often drawn towards natural fruits than a fruit-flavored snack, at least when you're not American. And this makes sense. We have eaten fruits for most of our evolutionary past, while we started to eat industrial food very recently. So our biology hasn't caught up with it yet. Products that are heavily transformed are usually worse for our health. Our body is a machine that was built for food that was there for millennia. So, for food at least, a natural first prior could be a good heuristic, but it's not a rule. About sanctity, I think that this notion is getting more and more absent in our societies, and I think this is a shame. Philosophers from Durkheim to Charles Taylor argue that societies that lack this sense of sanctity can drift toward nihilism or hyper-instrumentalism. Empirically, cultures with strong purity taboos devote more land to these untouchable grooves, creating unintended biodiversity reserves. Anthropological work shows that tight purity codes correlates with group longevity and cooperation in communes and religious sects. As all things, sanctity can obviously also backfire, like expulsions and stigmas. But I think that it's interesting to see that this seemingly useless concept at the individual level does show some benefits at the more community level. Also, if a behavior is partly biological, we can for sure condemn it, but we should still see some friction when trying to suppress it. For example, men and women choose different careers, partly because of culture, of course, but also partly because of genetic inclinations. We could think that this is bad, and that a perfect world would have 50% of men and 50% of women in literally every field. Yet we know that there is a natural inclination towards certain jobs based on gender. See the gender equality paradox, for example. So, it will be hard to get to this 50-50 state in literally every field. So, my guess is that maybe it's not worth pursuing it. I think that it's important to provide equal opportunities to everyone, men and women, but we shouldn't strive for exactly 50-50 repartition. Bottom line, what matters is that you should wonder why we prefer natural in certain scenarios. Maybe there are some good reasons for it, like the fact that we have been eating fruits so our body is good at absorbing it. But maybe there are no good reasons, like when the synthetic formula is exactly the same as the natural one. This was just the last part of my deep dive on the natural fallacy. See the full video, links in the description.